What's up YouTube, Fotoshooti here, back with another tournament recap. This is the tournament recap of the last Tengu Rumble, so the April edition, or better known as Tengu Rumble 4, which was the Rumble for Tengu Mania. So I was out there testing the deck I planned to run for Tengu Mania, which was Gallis Agents. So this is the first build I ran. I will also do another tournament recap of the Tengu Mania event, where I get eliminated after 3 wins. So yeah, I couldn't take top spot there. So yeah, I thought this deck was a really cool meta call, especially with people facing up max Cs, and especially for the mirror match with the mirror match, since it can deal with a lot of extensors and also a bit better against matchups like dragons, since the Gallis package gives you options against cards like Draco and Prime Material. So I think in theory it's still really good. It obviously has its weaknesses that the normal agent deck has, which is breaking, which this deck does even more. So it's a deck where you need to have a good day, that's for sure. And it's actually my second top with Gallis Agent list. So in January I played the FTK version with Dooms and the Black Witch of Black Rose, and had also a different approach, since I think going for the FTK is not that great. Like Doom is a super mediocre card, and Witch is cool if you have a high monster count, but it's also another cumbersome. So I just tend to run only the Gallis and Batman Engine and go for the 3 power spells. So yeah, this is would say pretty standard for those kind of decks. Like you have the agent cards maximized. Jupiter is here as a one-off, so yeah, those are your 18 cards, and obviously the 3 Hyperions. Then we're maximizing Gallis and Bergman, since the plays with Gallis and Bergman are really good, but they are obviously they die to max C a lot. So this, in my opinion, was I don't think it was necessarily a mistake to play it like this, but yeah, I think if you go for the Gallis stuff, you have to maximize the stuff you can abuse it with, and Bergman's also good with Venus. So I still think playing 1 Bergman is valid. You can easily side it out, since in game 1 people tend to not run 1 max, 1 or 2 2 maxis. That with all those Gravekeepers and Heroes running around, it's maxi it's getting moved more to the side. So I think game 1 this is still really good, and we're playing once again Honest, Sorceress one-off. We run way more darks with this list. Double Christia, which I was super pretty good in the tournament. I think I would, for those lists, I would cut this down to actually 1, or I did for Tengu Mania, and I think that was a fine decision. Then we're playing Caius. I needed a 40th card in that list, and it was Caius. Seems a bit weird at first, but it's like an additional Chaos Hawk, which doesn't need Light and Dark, so it's less dead in the early game. Also against stuff like Draco, or even I don't know, weird stuff like when it's Emptiness came, which I had to face once in the tournament. It's quite good. Also deals with those like pesky set monsters which Sword can't. And I think it's pretty good with Gallis as well. Like you have the option to special summon a Gallis and trip it out with a Chaos. Also baits out a lot of back row, which clears the way for your boss monsters, since you have to fight through a lot of back row since you only have your 1 heavy storm. then the triple throw guides, the double track, the BLS, and yeah, since this is a super monster heavy deck, I am running double maxi and parrot orange lights. If it was generic, it would be the best hand trap of the format. Like the only thing holding this card back is that you have to run pheromones. You can only use it with other fairy monsters. Yeah, literally Vela on steroids. Then for the side deck, we play double DD Crow, which I moved out. People were starting citing this against heroes, and I think it's super mediocre against heroes unless hero player plays like an idiot, which I did in one of the games where I got hit by the DD Crow on my Miracle Fusion, which was 100% my misplay. So when you're playing the deck, when you're playing against someone that plays the deck competent, DD Crow doesn't do anything. I mean, it can hit Hero Blast, but I think it's super mediocre right now. I think you could even cut this down to 1. I moved this out of the side for Forbidden Lands. So against like the backer heavy decks your play, go for like the triple decree MST side, and I like to side into the pack to Thunder King Little Trap package. Since people will try to side, will go for maxis in the side in game 2 or 3. So this is more of a cheese deck from the first game. The extra deck is pretty standard, unless the double Levier. Fun fact, I actually forgot to cut this for the second Leviathan. It never came up, so not even the second Leviathan, but I think running the second Leviathan here is overall a bit better. Since you most of the time you need a beat stick more than like the additional extender. So yeah, I think it's a really cool deck. It performed decent in the tournament. So let's see, we will see what my games were, and I will analyze them again and see what I could have done better and what my matchups were. So enjoy. Alright, we are back with round 1, playing against I Am the Wanderer, who played his first tournament here in the Tengu Discord. He's a fellow German as well, so that was quite cool. And he was on his favorite deck, Six Samurai, which is a super easy matchup for agents. Like my main issue with Samurais is that it's first of all a super inconsistent deck with just one smoke signal being available and just the one Xian. So if your Xian gets morning, you basically lose the game. And its agent matchup is super whack. So yeah, let's see how this went. Wanderer actually topped one of the Tengu tournaments like last month. Funny enough, it wasn't with Sam's, it was with the Bamboo Shoot cheese deck Naturia. So I guess you can see how good Sam's is here. By the way, people are trying to make this deck a thing in this format. Just don't. Just don't. This deck doesn't deserve to be a thing here. Anyway, he starts with Muzakani and Solemn, which is okay. It's just relatively weak. Like, I'm not a big fan of Muzakani. I prefer to play protection stuff, which is not that situational, or like a card that actually protects stuff like Phoenix Chain or something. His hand is pretty weak, like he has a Kiza and he has double Elder and Dark Hole, so that is quite underwhelming. So he can't even, if he had like Muzakani access to Xian, this back row becomes way better, but since he doesn't have it, he can't do anything. So yeah. By the way, it looked like it was his first turn. It actually wasn't. I just immediately passed my turn. Like, I drew six cards. I went first and I didn't do anything. So funnily enough, he doesn't know what I'm on in game 1 here. But I'm not sure if you need to attack here with the Kizan, since when when he knows his hand and it's super weak against one Ghost of Tragodia drop. I decided to drop the Tragodia here for two reasons. First of all, I have a hard Drew Jupiter, my only level 4 monster in the deck, besides Honest, obviously, which actually cost me here. So I draw that Crucia. Yes, Estio Tragodia, like I said, he is relatively new. He tries to chain the Musakani here, which he can't, which is not that great for him since I know one of his cards is basically blank. So I reveal Gallis. I repeat, I had just played 3 spells in my deck, which Monster Mash listed, so there might be a possibility for a spammer, but I don't. I mill, I mill Tour Guide, and then I was like, I should go for this. So I dropped the Christia. He actually Solemns that here, which I think is interesting. Is that I don't think he should have Solemned here, since he would take a lot of damage here, that's for sure. But my normal sum is pretty much gone. Like, he only loses to like a BLS play, and I feel like he's not in that great of spot, and I don't have that much cards in hand. When I draw and me tribute summoning Christia, it kind of reveals that I'm not that I'm not on any chaos monsters. So I just switch it, track and attack, and was like, okay, if he has the Musicani, and even if he didn't have, whatever. So he Dark Holds here. Like, he has a really good draw here. He draws Asceticism, he draws Dark Hole here, and uses it on the track, which I think was a kind of a waste. So first of all, if he doesn't Solemn here, he has Dark Hole for the Christia, so he had an instant out for Christia, so I don't think there was a need to Solemn the Christia here. He Dark Holes the track, which is also unnecessary, since he can just make a Sheer now and hit over Tragodia. Cost 5, attack, 50 Sheehan, I'm not sure if you. So, runs into Gauss. Like, I had to kind of rig hand, but I had like hand trips which he played both into. Also, me top decking Christia of the Dark wouldn't have been that great. So yeah, I don't think, I don't know. Like, if he had Salem, it would have been a bit more chill for him. And yeah, I think he had to wait for an attack here, since like one Ghost drop instantly loses him the game. Even track is pretty bad, and yeah, you just have to attack. So I think he didn't play that optimally. So I think he started. Wait a second. I think I actually missed him drawing 6 card. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. So he went for an first in Bakium, which is whatever. Which is whatever. Like, he has Solemn and Finish Chain, so Bakium is super dead against my deck. It doesn't do anything. I don't think I even cited into the trap package game 2. He flips Emptiness on me, and Emptiness is really annoying. He flipped it on the Gallis effect, which, funnily enough, I milled my Monster Reborn, so it wouldn't have even resolved. Like, I wanted to go for a Chaos play. So he flips Emptiness, he draw into that Venus. He goes for Kizan. Yeah, I draw the Honest, which is funny. So he outs Emptiness himself, which I don't think was correct. Like, me having Honest here is super obvious, but I'm not sure if he can even play around that. like even if he is not playing around that, I can like attack. I can like either attack with the Venus, like I don't know, like tribute summoning for the Grandmaster here obviously wasn't the correct play. And yeah, he also tried to summon a second Grandmaster here, which he takes back. Yeah, this is like the second time Emptiness would have been clutch against this kind of deck, and he just doesn't out it. So I drop Honest. Yeah, go for the Kairos. Drop Hyperion. Drop Hyperion, and by the way, he I wanted to go for game with the second Gallis, and I made the second spell. So, meme Gallis plays here, but yeah, he's pretty much on here. So yeah, second time someone outed their emptiness for me in a Tengu Rumble. Must be nice. So yeah, feel like I'm always happy to beat Sams. I hate this deck so much. And I don't think it's even good in that form, in this format. Like, I encourage people to play dumb, bad stuff, but this deck isn't. I don't know. Maybe it's my PTSD from locals back in the day, but I would rather face Boojans than like a good, like a summer 2011 6-7 build. I don't know, that shit was obnoxious. Anyway, enough with my rant and my samurai hate. We win round 1, and you guys will see me for round 2. So, here we are in round 2, playing against Calcipher, who is on, I think on Chaos Heroes. What's my opinion on that deck a lot? I don't think it's it's very good. Like it's okay. Like most of the hero builds are fine in the format, but I think it's just a worse hero list. Like compared to like the standard hero beat, I don't think the tour guide play is worth running just to get BLS into the deck. So I open with Venus, which is a really good opening, but he has the effect beta, which is another card I'm not sure on in like hero builds. Like it's good against agents, obviously. So he summons the Stratos, and now I feel like he could have set all 3 here, because like he knows I'm on agents. He doesn't know I'm on the Gallis stuff, but I feel like if you get through with your plays against like that kind of hand, like imagine if I can actually like go for a big push here, then he stares at my board with like the Solemn and the Torrential. I mean, the Torrential can give him a comeback, but I don't know. I feel like this feels super awkward. Like yeah, he has the Gem Spark, but I feel like you have to risk it, or you don't even have to risk it here since you have the Solemn set as insurance, just in case I have heavy. So he attacks into my Tragodia, but he has the Gem Spark, so that's fine. He draws. Unfortunately for him, he draws a dead card. Yeah, normal summons Thunder King, and yeah, now I feel like it's fine to not set the Torrential. Yeah. He has to Solemn my Venus here, otherwise his only monster is gone. Yeah. I feel like this is not going good for him. Draws another dead Gem Spark, so he had unfortunate draws. Gauss would mess him up here, but I feel like he has to go for it. So I summon my tour guide just to get in Dark Engrave. Go for the Gallis play here. Maybe he could have to wrench it. No, never mind. He can just negate the summon with Thunder King, which he does. But I just drop BL. I drop BL. I get greedy. I drop BLS. I was like, okay, even if he has a play, even if he has Torrential, I get my Sengen Surge and maybe get my Crystal Life later on. So I get Tour Guide as another follow-up play. He top decks his Tour Guide, which is actually a monster, but can't go for an XC play or even for a Levia play since I don't have XC. Yeah, I dropped Tragodia. I dropped Tragodia. I steal his Sanguine. Like Tragodia has come in clutch against this tournament. To actually get him in Levia Online, which I could have gone with a Tour Guide, but now I have a Venus Online and I still have my normal sum. Maybe could have even gone for triple sum Christia here. I was thinking a lot. I feel like I could have gone for Leaf Alive with Christia, but I decided to play it more safe. Funnily enough, I think he miscalculates, and I also miss it. So he just scoops, but he has 2 dead Gem Sparks and Stairs down the board of a Levia Venus and a Gachi. With also Christia potentially getting online if he can deal with that. So it didn't look great for him either way. So this game, he actually sets everything down. Unfortunately, he has something that is like a bit of an issue for the hero deck, which is drawing that Gem Sparks without having access to the engine. I mean, Thunder King can plus Road could win against this kind of decks on its own, but good thing I sighted into the traps. So yeah, I feel like I have to risk it. Even if he has Road, it's whatever. If he has Solemn, I get rid of the Solemn. He warnings my Tour Guide, so we have dealt with the two back rows since I sighted into the traps and I draw Bottomless in Prison. Goes for the Leviathan, he lets that through, not negating with Stardust. I would have prisoned the Leviathan anyway, since I can deal with the Thunder King. I just decided to get rid of the Stardust, and now, like, he has Solemn, and it should look good with him, like, for having Thunder King on 3 sets, but unfortunately, he just draws into 2 dead back rows. So I Solemn the Thunder King, but I have I have Reborn VLS. So I let this crash. Was like, okay, I don't think he can kill me next turn. And yeah, I think he doesn't have a Levier. He goes into a Levier, probably doesn't have a second Leviathan Dragon, which, in my opinion, could be an option in those Tour Guide builds. And I think the water attribute of Leviathan Dragon is really good. So yeah, it's based around the back row. Both of Jokes and me, both of them are dead anyway, and then I hit in since I felt like, okay, I think his back rows are nothing. But yeah, I don't know. Like, he had no access to Zero Engine, which was his downfall here. I don't think that the Tour Guide bit is necessarily good. Like, the plays you get with Tour Guide are kind of underwhelming here. Like, I've never seen this popping off super hard. Like, the only thing I like about this is that you can summon a water out of extra deck, which turns F-Zero online, so you don't have to run like Snowman Eaters and stuff. I also don't like Snowman Eaters in the Hero main deck. But just throwing in the dark stuff just to get in BLS, I don't think it's necessary. I think like it prevents you from running more traps, which I think just having a Shining with a lot of back rows is more than enough, so you don't necessarily need the BLS. Yeah. Played the deck once, and for the deck showcase episode, it felt super clunky. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. If people like this, good for them. It's not necessarily a bad deck in any way. Like, it could still potentially top in this format. Like, it's Zero-less. Zero is one of the best decks of the format. So yeah, just throwing Tour Guides in doesn't move it down 2 tiers. I mean, you have that with volcanics if you want to have a bad hero deck. But anyways, that was round 2. Now 2-0 in the tournament. Here we go. Time for round 3, facing Shinoslaw. Playing Gladiator Beast. I feel like Gladiator Beast is kinda mediocre here, since Agent, it has a good Agent matchup in my opinion, but Agent also start running Orange Light, which messes this deck up heavily. So I was like, okay, go for the Venus play, go for Gachi. So I think I have, since I know I have the Orange Light. So yeah, I don't know how I lost this game, to be honest. I dropped Orange Light. Was hoping he wasn't on a monster, but he has Lance Mysterious to get a Gladiator Beast effect. Also gets an quest, some quest. It's over with Lance. Was like I'm in a good spot. I drew 4k. I had like 4k on board, but then I stopped drawing stuff. So he goes for a Laquari, and now I'm staring down a lot of back rows. He actually has a prison here, so I don't. Maybe I could have gone for a Crab Dragon. I was like playing around Bot Chariot here. Like going for Stardust would have cost me since I had to deal with like a prison. I maybe could have gone for a Scrap Dragon priority. Pop is like Quarry. I think that would have been a better play. So maybe I threw this game. Not gonna lie. No, I mean now he gets T-King. I feel like if I get rid of the Glad, I just have to deal with the Thunder King. Since he can drop Gors. Now I'm in a super weak spot. I think he also has Solemn Warning. I dropped Gors here. I also feel like I shouldn't have taken that much damage here. Like I also have Drag in hand. My Drag is not super dead, so yeah. I try to hit over his Thunder King. He lands it. I honest and yeah, I miscalculate stuff. But yeah, I obviously had to drop honest here, so token's not dying. Drop BLS, Spanish, but now he flips Darkrai and he has Monster Reborn, so it's game over. Yeah, 100% my fault. I think I fumbled it. Could have gone a bit better. And he draws, funnily enough, he draws a super heavy monster in. He's now on Max C since he knows I'm on the Gallis stuff. So he drops Max in the second one. I feel like I'm glad he can also drop it on the first one, since just letting him chill with one Shine Ball is really good. I have MST in prison. He has like for the Gladiator special like 4 monsters in hand, which will come up. He attacks into a prison. A random space here. Draw another space. He accidentally misclicks, so funnily enough, I hit his rear back row. Feel like I'm in a good spot now. Also feel like going for it Armory Arm. I don't know what. I think that wasn't my day. I went for a lot of weird plays. I don't know why I went for that Shine Ball. Maybe to get like a Hyperion, top deck Hyperion online, but that's so weak. I definitely should have gone for Catastor. I mean, it loses against War Chariot. I feel like it's way safer against Lance play. Also, not equipping. Equipping the Armor Arm could have been fine. So yeah, he attacks, drops Optimus. I go for another Earth play. Go for a super greedy Trish here. He actually flips War Chariot, which he drew into, like his other 2 back rows are 2 dead proving grounds. But I was like, okay, I'm safe. I'm switching the Gachi to attack so he can. So just in case he's not going, he only has Hoplomos, so he can't hit into my Gachi. Which I think was the correct play. But sadly he has like enough monsters. Monsters and also access to Bestiary. Pops my Decree. Floats into another one. So I feel like this game was super over and now it's turning into a fight. Drop Hyperion. I lucky enough, he doesn't have anything. Doesn't have like a prison or bottomless. I killed the War Chariot. Now I will die here. Attacks, Necroy attacks into my Gachi. This was a Parian. And he keeps, I was like, okay, I'm in a fine spot. He keeps drawing monsters. I mean, 100% my fault. I feel like this game should have been over. Yeah, he pops another decree. So I have, like, draw a dead Christia. Like, I have way too many favorites in deck. Like, Christia was the biggest menace, but yeah. Get the Sangan Surge, Gazarus. Instant to 2, and now also draws Asidari. So I was like, okay, I think if I didn't top deck Heavy Storm here, I top deck Heavy Storm on his free back row. So I feel like if I don't do that here, I'm pretty much a goner. Go for Tour Guide and hit over Darius. So he taught me that he had to crash into my Leviathan, but I don't know. Maybe he could have gone for a safe zone. I don't know. Like, he's super low in life. I feel like this could have been a play. Goes for top decks into a Bestiary. Loads into a quest, gets War Chariot. So I pretty much have the Dark Hole here. But now he has the safe zone, unfortunately. He top decks into a Maxi. Had to set the Herald. Yeah. This is turning into a top deck war here. Yes, gets back the Sidari. He could have gone for another Sidari play, unless he only runs one. Like my list plays 2, Wulot's list, former German national champion with this deck. Also runs 2. I feel like this comes way more up than the second Hacker Cleanos. So with a second, I think he mentioned that he thought about adding the second Asidari, so that actually could have come up here. Take note, Shin. So I can now run over the Darius. Like, if he had the opportunity to tag into his second Asidari, like my final king would have stared down an Asidari, and then he could have Nomus. Then would have set this Thunder King, would have been super awkward. So now his Asidari is gone. He draws in the Mirror Force on the Thunder King. So this was a super hype game. He flips Maxi, goes for 200. I drop Sorg. I banish the Maxi since I kind of was afraid of a Deep Prison. In hindsight, one Deep Prison is gone, one Mirror Force is gone. But also playing around bottomless here, so just in case. I feel like if this Sorg doesn't go through, I die. He draws into Waboko, and then he top decks into Judgment. But like, I know. Super hype game 2, but which I misplayed super heavily. I feel like I should have won this game way earlier. That's on me. And then game 2, I open on double Christia. Must be nice. And he opens the perfect answer to my board. So I set the double. My hand is awkward. I can't play into a War Chariot. I was like, yeah, I have to pray he's not going for Gazaris. I have to set up a decree, and then I can pretty much win off Venus Hyperion. But yeah, he gets one decree. Unfortunately, he has the MST in hand, and also he has Prison War Chariot. So yeah, I try to play into this. He War Chariots. I go for Hyperion, don't have a pop, and I hit into the prison since I can. I have to risk it here since he has the opportunity to threaten another Gazaris. Could have done. I mean, I could have. Like, the thing is, man, I feel like he has prison, so yeah. I feel like I screwed this up, actually. Like I have Herod in hand, so if he needs to get over the Separian, so if he goes for Gazaros, I can actually Herod that, but he also has Mirror Force and Solemn Judgment, and also Effect Veiler, so yeah. And now I drop the Herod, yeah. I was like, man, this setup was unbeatable. I mean, it is now with the Watcher and Solemn, but they actually shouldn't have attacked into the prison, I guess, if Herod is back up, since I could have baited him into a Gazaris, but then because the Watcher is gone and he doesn't have an opportunity to recycle it, so yeah, I feel like it could have won this one like all of the 3 games, but I pretty much screwed it up. So yeah, I played this super bad. Not gonna lie. But once again, happy to see Shinoslav perform well with that deck. He's a really good player after all. Current Tengu Mania champion. I mean, he wasn't at that time. But yeah, unfortunate. So anyway, that was it for round 3. Maybe I play a bit better in the next round game. Alright, here we are with round 3 game, playing against Disaster Dragons, which should be a bad matchup, but it is a little bit less bad than like Dragon Turbo decks. This deck can't create like enough pressure, but one Draco can be game. So yeah, I open with Tour Guide. It's Sengen. Gets Red Eyes Wyvern. Sand is a bit brick with double Totem Dragon, but fine, I guess. Attacks into the Tour Guide. My Venus gets warning, which was like, okay, I have a Burton play. He's also on that weird, on Legacy of Yada. I saw this in Edison popping up a lot. I'm not sure about it here. Drop BLS, and I think I made a first misplay here, so I know he's on that weird dragon list. So he's probably not on, I don't know, Econ creature swap on and stuff like that. I mean, if I drop the BLS in attack, then I don't go for the normal Samsagan. I feel like could have been better to just have the BLS in attack. And since this can just get run over by a red MD, bit of an oversight on my part. He drops with the Yada, no, some Stolen Dragon. Goes for red MD, but luckily enough, I mean, he runs off my BLS since it's in defense, but he doesn't have that much of a follow-up play. Now one thing I see, he sets the Pot of Duality as a bluff and keeps the Torrential in hand, which I can't understand why. He knows I'm on agents, so I don't see why you're not setting the Torrential. I mean, getting Red MD killed sucks, but I feel like if I can go completely uninterrupted, it's pretty much game over. So I go for Levier play here, get Venus down. I also have Birdman. I have so much gas in hand. Sink for Scrap Dragon, pop Sangan, and Red MD. I mean, he could have prevented that at least. So Chariot as follow up, pop the last back row, and then yeah, we go for game. So I feel like he wasn't in that great of a spot. It's not signing to range made it even worse. So game 2, I decided to not side into traps. He drops Future Fusion, drops Future Fusion, he has Draco in hand, which completely shuts down my deck. Now something interesting, which I missed. You can't in Edison also in Tengu you can Future Fusion when for 5-headed when a Draco's on field. Since 5-headed is a Dark Monster, I missed that. It's not going to matter since he's not going to do anything with his grave. I mean, he can't even some random reasons since it's a Dark Monster. So yeah, he shouldn't have activated that Future Fusion, but it ends up not doing. Like the 5 dragons in grave didn't end up impacting the game. Like I don't draw anything. My entire hand is that. I probably should have discarded the Chaos here. But yeah, it's not going to end up mattering. It doesn't have Draco and it's game over. In game 2, I decided to use my brain, decided in the traps. I keep the Heavy Storm in here, which is going to come in clutch. Another one on Vanity's Emptiness. I feel like it's okay when you can set up, when you can summon Red MD, and like Red MD Prime with Emptiness set is a really good setup. So I Thunder King in the prison for protection. Yes, free back row, but I felt like I had to, like, not stomming for the free back rows. Even if there is a Yada down there, it's way too good to not do it. So yeah, ends up hitting his warning and the emptiness. Emptiness wasn't that great in that board state anyway. Summon Sangan with the tour guide. Now I have Honest and Hedgehog. That's a super, really good setup. Also, connecting great against like Red MZ summon. So he tries to crash here. So get rid of that Thunder King. But I feel like he actually still would have lost like a turn here anyway. Like his hand isn't great. Yeah, but on the cherry on top I dropped the Honest. So yeah. Unfortunate game 3 for him. He like getting hit with the Heavy Storm. It was pretty much game over after the Heavy Storm. So game 1 cost him for not sitting a back row, and game 3 basically cost him for sitting back rows. But I feel like in that kind of matchup, it's fine to risk it on set 3. Since if I feel like you need to have, against those kind of decks, you need to have more to back rows, kinds of stuff. Since you really don't want to get like a big play, like a big Christia play going through, or like a summon. Was kind of awkward also to play with the hand into it, so I don't think that was necessarily a misplay. Yeah, but I'm quite happy. Dragons is always like a weird deck to face. Draco is like an instant counter for your deck. Also, Prime can be annoying, but yeah, it went pretty smoothly, all things considered. So yeah, that was round 3. Round 4, and we'll be back for round 5. Here we are with round 5, facing Necro's biggest menace, Worms, which can be super annoying. Luckily enough, I go first, which is super important in that matchup. I mean, obviously he has Thunder King hand. Go for Tour Guide. I decided. I think I decided to risk it here. Was like, even if he I have Kaius in hand, so yeah, Thunder King would be annoying, but then I was like, okay, oh no, he's not getting the Thunder King with the duality. He has one in hand already, so I get punished for my greedy play, since I could have set up the Gallis with the Kaius, but I was like with Gallis in hand, I had like a follow up. So I tribute some Kaius. I decided not to be greedy and target the back row like a good player, which ends up paying off since he has bottomless. So yeah, you get rid of the Thunder King, which is super important. Good thing he's not drawing into much traps here. I mean, he has the Sex play, which is good, but he also drew into Worm King. This is a card you never want to draw. I dropped track, and I feel like I'm now in a really good spot here. I for some reason decided to play into Dark Hole here. Like, I don't know why I did that. It ends up paying off. Like, I can't go for Jagan here. Go for like that really weird Gallis play. I feel like I've committed way too much here, since I also had the information here at Dark Horse, so I don't know what I was thinking here, to be honest. Like, I think I played this, and generally I played this tournament really poorly. Had a deserved loss against Shinoslaw. And I think I only win game 1 here after that. I mean, he bricked on Worm King. I feel like I win game 1 here because, funnily enough, my opponent decides to misplay even harder. by warning my Earth, which I don't know why he did that. I mean, I could have gone for Jupiter or Venus Sun, but I feel like that wasn't threatening at all. I mean, him Jagan bouncing back my Earth, whatever, and now I drop Hyperion, and yeah, it's just like that. The game is over. So yeah, a weird throwing between me and my opponent. Game 2, he has duality again. He has Thunder King. And now he has, I mean, doesn't have like Nebula, but he has traps. He's also on core, which is interesting. He attacks into my Gores, but he has Dark Order out it. And gets sees the Worm Sex. I also breaked on Christia. I feel like this game was super winnable if I didn't had like one card in my hand which wasn't super useless. Then I feel also I was thinking on that a lot, on that rebound play a lot. If I wanted to go for a Gauss, I decided to side against it and go for a Thunder King, and I get hard punished by the call. Should I have played around Call of the Haunted? I'm not sure. I don't think I should have. I ended up chaining the Grove since if that Call of the Haunted goes through, game is super over. Attacks with sex, and yeah, now I'm super breaked. He also has Vela against the tour guide, especially decide to recycle the tour guide here and get my Burden bounce back by Jagan. Hope he doesn't have enough damage. He draws Diner, funnily enough. But yeah, kind of unfortunate. Should I have played around that call? And I don't think that's standard into Worms. So yeah, game 2 we go into decide in the Thunder Kings. Game 3, I mean game 3. Decide in the Thunder Kings. We have MST and Bottomless. So I'm it was played a bit fast. I Bottomless the Thunder King. MST is back row. Was like okay. Go for a tour guide play. Sadly enough, I summoned the Sangan. Now it's a Thunder King on field, so keeping Sangan on board was kind of awkward. Yeah, I decided just let the tour guide stay. Now he has the Call of the Haunted again. He ruined the Nebula, which is super scary. But I have a lot here. Was like, okay, I feel super safe. After drawing Venus, I was like, okay, I feel super safe now. I can like bait the potential Nebula with Gachi. Go for Levier, summon another Thunder King. Like I was playing into Mirror Force, but I feel like playing into Mirror Force was fine. Like since I have Hyperion and Gorse as insurance. So yeah, he flips Nebula, which I anticipated. Gets rid of my Jagan. Funnily enough, I actually missed. So Worm Sex can't be destroyed by battle when one Jagan is face up on field. So my Levy actually crashed into that, but was kind of necessary to play around. Since I had to make sure he's not on any cards for Nebula and end phase. So I tried to enter my end phase. He went for end of main. So I feel like he messed up here. He flipped Call of the Haunted in end of main. So I had the option to stay in my main main phase to drop Hyperion. He could have just activated the call in end phase, I guess. I don't know. Nebula is a weird card, so maybe someone can clear the rolling up. God is such a mess. So does he have to flip call in end of main? So yeah, he gets Nebula up. I mean, this was clearly his intention. So anyway, game is over. I drop Hyperion. I pops Worm Sex. Yeah, he draws into that does shoot. So yeah, sad to see the Worm deck miss top cut. This tournament was actually super awkward since challenge sucks for Swiss tournaments. unfortunately, so it messed up the tiebreak, and I had to do top 6 since we had 4 excellent ones. Was a bit weird. Was the biggest Tengu Mania we ever had. So yeah, I went for 1 and secured my spot in top 6. So anyway, we will see how I will do in top card. Most of you people know already. So yeah, another top spot with the Gallis agent list. Love to see it. And yeah, see you for top card where I face Halfa with Eurobeat. We are in top 6, facing Halfa with Eurobeat. Drawing. Unfortunately, I lose the die roll, and Descent sucks a bit going second, so I can't summon my Earth. Ghost one. However, Thunder King has Gem Spark as an out for Tragodia, and he actually draws into Skill Drain. And also has Vela in hand, so that's game looks super over already. I go for Reborn Place since I have Jupiter in hand, but he flips one of Skill Drain, unfortunately, and also gets this Duality Life. Yeah, main deck Skill Drain against that deck was quite unfortunate. I mean, I have BLS, but yeah, he can just Thunder King negate. Feel like I had to get damage off board since my hand just sucks, but he keeps throwing monsters at me, so yeah, that game was kind of unwinnable. So main 2, game 2, he drops Vela. I decided Decree, he drops Vela on me. So that's also unfortunate. With the hero deck, getting a 2KB tech as here deck would have been super powerful. Also kind of slammed the Royal Decree here. I don't think that was actually necessary. I mean, you can Torrential here, but it's whatever. I also could have dropped Honest here and decided not to, probably because he has Miracle in hand. Also no Gem Spark, so yeah, I think crashing it was fine. I go for Tour Guide. I decided not to play around the Thunder King. Unfortunately, I can't go for a Prison. But my thought process was like passing on a rank 3 with a Decree on board is super weak against the Gem Spark. So yeah, maybe I could have gone, should have risked it. I mean, even if I hit a level, even if I had a level 3 here, it would have been kind of doomed since he is still as Honest in the end. So he could have just gone over it with Honest. Yeah, but yeah, I felt like with that bricked hand I had to risk it and get a Sengen Surge. So yeah, not sure about that play. But yeah, I get hard punished here. Sengen, it's over. It's Shining also, it's over. And yeah, I drop Hyperion, but now Thunder King is on board again. And yeah, it's pretty much over. So yeah, kind of getting duped by my side deck choice. Also siding in traps with the traps together with the decrease. I feel like running like 3 or 4 traps is fine. Doesn't break too that much, but yeah. Feel like the matchup is a bit rough with the main deck Skill Drain, but yeah. I feel like I could have played it a bit more optimally, even though I was kind of fighting a losing battle in both games. So anyway, we make top 6 with this bricky mess. Unfortunately, getting absolutely curb stomped in top cut. So yeah, I think it's the super fun agent variant. Has a lot of weaknesses thanks to breaking. Unfortunately, I feel like the Tengu Mania list I played was superior, which you will see in a future video where I do a tournament report of that one. But anyway, that was my last performance of the Tengu Rumble. See you for next one. Until then, goodbye.